Like when I was a kid, I just was always in there. So I said hello to Anthony. I walked in, I saw the family, I saw Eddie, and I just sat down. I didn't say nothing to anybody. There was maybe 40 people in there. I just sat there and looked around the room. I looked at the pictures. I looked at they had no video player. They just had the family. I'm looking at, and all of a sudden, people started coming in. And it was like one after the other. All the kids that were maybe 2 years older than me that I knew well, that I had grown up around. My friend Brian DeGormy walked in. I love that dude. I don't know how many dinners I had in his fucking house growing up with his brother Mike and his brother Teddy, and it was just great to see him. He came right over, sat next to me, we started bullshitting. I'm like, where the fuck do you live? And then 2 guys came in. There was 2 other guys just standing there, and I looked at them. I didn't recognize them. And finally the guy goes, didn't you go to 5-star basketball camp with us? And I'm like, who the fuck are you? And he goes, I play for Snyder, blah, 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 blah. I know Greg Horrenda. We were talking about 5-star basketball camp. It loosened me up. And then at that point, Eddie came over. I gave him a hug. He thanked me for coming. His family was busy with other people. Because, listen, a wake works this way. This is the way wakes used to work. There used to be a 2-day wake. The first day is for family. The second day is for friends. Since COVID hit, they've cut wake hours in half. If you get 3 hours for a fucking wake now, it's a lot. So the earlier people, like the only reason why I went up early was because I had to be back for wrestling practice and the traffic. I just wanted to get it out of the way. I wanted to go pay my respects and see him. I would have gone at night. If it was a Wednesday night, oh shit. I would have gone at night because I would have gone to the burger place in North Bergen. There's a place in North Bergen, Hudson Burgers. I hear nothing but good things about them. They put a picture of a hamburger. Some of you ever see a picture of something, you're like, God damn. It was goddamn. Somebody told me they use tremendous meat. The girl's name is Vienna Bello. So, I follow her on Facebook. And I was like, fuck it. I'll go to the wake and then stop and get a burger at Hudson Burgers, see Vienna. I haven't seen her in years, say hello. But now I had to go in the daytime. So, I walked up, I fucking talked to a few people. And then people just started coming in. Gamio, the fire department. It's one of the guys from the fire department I had grown up with. I came over and gave him a big hug. Gamio, when I saw him, I gave him the biggest hug, and I go, bro, tell these motherfuckers how we were the first picks in McKinley, because we all went to McKinley down there, that fucking school across the New York Hotel. It was me, Gamio, the Cortina brothers, one's a doctor and one's a fucking teacher at Union Hill, and the beast, Alex Carvajal, La Etria. That's what they used to call him in Spanish. That motherfucker was a beast in 2 languages, La Etria and the beast. So I'm talking to all these dudes, and there's a minute where I'm just sitting there, guys, and all of a sudden, it's like I smoked a fucking joint. Like when you first smoke a joint when you're a kid, and you sit there mummified, and then your brain opens up, and you get all these fucking weird thoughts about playing on stage with Led Zeppelin. And, you get all these, when you were a kid, you smoke pot. That's what happened to me yesterday without smoking pot. It's like the fucking valve opened up, and all the memories I had in from that place just started popping the fuck up. When you walk into a funeral parlor, you could smell the you smell the flowers. It's like a mix formaldehyde flowers, but when you go away from it, like I was thinking of a story in 1993 when I came back, Anthony had a gym downstairs, a fucking beautiful gym, pulleys and benches and Olympic weights, I don't know who was using it, and he told me, I go, can I use it? And I was broke, I was a starving comic, and I would come over from the city some nights and just shoot in there like at 7. And, my friend Rago would pick me up like at 9:30 to go do comedy somewhere. So I would work out for like 45 minutes and take a bus to Cliffside. The problem was that I would lift weights next to the room where they did the embalmings. And the fucking formaldehyde, you would smell it. You would smell the formaldehyde as you were working out. So you're in there, breathing, doing sit-ups, jumping jacks and shit. By the time I was outside, I was all fucked up. I don't know if you motherfuckers have ever smoked a joint with formaldehyde in it. It'll fuck you up for 3 fucking days. You'll hear shit you've never heard before. So I'm sitting there and I'm like thinking about how many. I only did a lift down there like 3 times because after the 3rd time I'm like, I can't take this shit. This formaldehyde gives you a fucking headache and a half. And I thought about cleaning the bathrooms there. I thought about parking people's cars there as a kid. I thought about fucking, cleaning the. We used to clean the sink, and the general manager at the time was a pickler about hair. Like if there was like a little tiny hair, he'd call you in there. Come here, look at that. Do you see that hair? And I'm like, I don't see nothing, guy. Leave me the fuck alone. He would just complain about a little hair. I used to have to open the door for people, put the flowers in the flower car. I mean, I did. And here's the fucking weird thing, guys. That when I was a kid, listen, when I fucking saw my dad in the casket, only Cuban people do that shit. They take a picture of somebody dead in a fucking casket. That is the creepiest fucking thing in the world. When I was a young kid, I saw those pictures of my dad in a fucking casket, and I was like, I'm not dealing with that shit. I'm never dealing with that shit. And then the Cuban religion has a lot of fucking spiritual things where there's one part of the religion where they summon spirits and they drink fucking rum and the spirit talks to you in African. I did it a few times. It creeped me the fuck out. It wasn't for me, but I was young and I wasn't paying the rent, so I had to go for a ride. You know what I'm saying? There was no babysitter available, so yeah, that was my ride, my mom. So, it wasn't for me. And then I still remember my mother's wake, guys. She was in the casket, and there was a couple nights I'm like, she's my mom, but I ain't going over there. Like, I'm not fucking going over there. Like, the night that I came in and heard Zoraida fucking, she was doing bumps and telling how she was going to take care of me, I was 30 feet away from her, guys. I didn't want to be close to that body. It took me like 2 days to get close to my mother's body. She's your mother, and on top of that, I was scared of ghosts and creepy things. I'm telling you guys, I've always heard things and saw spirits and shit. When I was a kid, I saw a guy with a fucking cape. I wasn't high. I was like fucking 6 in my backyard. I told my mother there's a guy out there flying around like a bat. I was watching too many episodes of The Munsters. I don't know what the fuck happened to me. But I, just fucking didn't like that world. After my mother died, this is when I really I knew Anthony like 2 years before my mother died. But after my mother died, I got to meet, I got to help Anthony, and he knew my mother so he would help me out from time to time. I was in the CIA work-study program.